Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us here today. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates and coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. And we're going to lead off this week by talking to Wurtz, head coach of the women's basketball team at Winona State. And finally, we get to talk about a weekend sweep, two really good games for your team. Just first off, how does it feel to get the sweep this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. They needed it, we needed it as a group. Just really exciting, and the way that we got them was it's gritty. We were tough and gritty and had to fight for it. It wasn't, it was a defensive battle most of the weekend. So it's fun to know that we can win those, even if we're not, our offensive side of the game wasn't necessarily rolling as much. We have a quarter here and there that looks pretty nice. But right now, our defense and rebounding's been consistent, so it's been kind of the thing that we get to put in our hat.
All right, let's talk about Wayne State first, because that was, the biggest win, I guess, 61-43, a really good result for your team. Haley Markworth had a really good game. Let's talk about her and what she did.
Yeah, I mean, Haley's just been someone we've just been waiting for to break out, and everyone it's their college career, and you got to just kind of wins your time when you're confident and comfortable. And she's put in so much work in her game, and I mean, she came in ready also, but she's also spent a lot of time just on a couple little things, but little things, big things always. And she's really just got this confidence right now that she's exactly where I wanted her to be, and she's doing great. So we're really fortunate. She is a scorer mindset, and the fun part about that now is that she's one of our better defenders and rebounders too. So she's a nice all-around player.
Speaking of rebounds, you got 12 from Alex Dornfeld, so another great game from her.
Yes, glad she's back and fully back to playing the way that she knows how to play. She is definitely one of our best ball pursuit players. I was talking with them this week. We've got some that maybe need to put a little body on somebody a little bit more often, and some that need to, they hold their box out for 10 minutes and we need them to go get the ball. Alex knows how to find the ball, and that's something I've been coaching now for almost 15 years, and teaching somebody, when the ball is going to be where it's not as easy as it seems, and she's somebody that just has a knack for that, and thank the Lord, because now she's out and we've got her back, and 12 rebounds is just another day for her. I mean, I think she led the league last year in rebounding. So.
And then the other thing that really worked for you against Wayne State was three-point shooting. 6 of 12 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
That was a really good thing to see.
Yes, it was. I mean, when shots fall, things do feel a little better every now and then. And we didn't take, 12 isn't really a high number for us. We've taken more than that, but that's a very efficient number. We'll take it. 6 of 12 sounds great. So, we really scored a lot in the paint, I would say, that game. But it was nice that when we did get the openings that we knocked them down.
So was that maybe something that was one of the key things to focus in on during the game against Wayne State, is maybe not shoot so much from beyond the arc? Because I know in some of the losses, maybe it looked like some of those shots were forced from three-point range, and maybe reduce that a little bit. You say go into the paint a little bit more. Was that kind of the game plan?
I wouldn't say so. I always tell them, if you're open and you're confident, shoot it. We do drills that you earn the green light, and if you've earned the green light and I feel like you're at a place where I'm not going to question your shot selection, then if you're open and comfortable, I mean, I don't like threes off the bounce all that much, or fadeaways, or we keep it pretty simple. It's catch and shoot within what we do. I'd say the main focus was at the rim. We wanted to make sure we were more balanced. Those are the shots that we were trying to just make sure that we got better shots. We were getting to the rim. We were getting good looks at the rim, but they could have been. We get fatigued, and then we kind of throw it up there, as opposed to sit down, find your balance, and finish the play through contact. So.
All right, Augustana then, 53-44. As you were talking about, a really gritty win. I think that's a good description of that win.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, they're a really big team. They're really tall at every position. So, I mean, we're having Olivia Gamoki's matched up with a 6-foot guard at times. And from across the board, they're 6 feet, 6'2". They're really big. And so scoring becomes a little bit more difficult that way, because they can match up one-on-one with us. Ultimately you got to score more points than the other team, and we still did that. So, it feels really good. I don't know many teams. I've been here for a long, long time, 2006 till now, and it's not been a lot of teams that have gone on the road and beaten Wayne and Augie in one stretch. So it's really proud of them, and I hope that they understand how important that is.
You were talking about the struggling to score. Second quarter, you had 3 points in that second quarter. So what was that like at halftime to come in and off of a bad quarter like that? But, I mean, you're still in the game. You're still there.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't. For me, it's not. And I've been trying to work with them on that. Like, as long as we're defending and rebounding, we can't stress about that side of the ball. And I felt like this is one of the first times I walked in the locker room, and the feeling was, we're fine. Like, and it was, as long as we're controlling the game on the other end of the floor, you know that you're going to give yourself a chance. And shots have to fall at some point. And so, yeah, I felt like we walked in and we realized, like, we're in control here. We just have to do what we do. And, I would say we were good.
All right. Kind of the same people had big games. Haley Markworth and Alex Dornfeld. Emma Carpenter was big from the free throw line in that game as well.
Yeah, that's been nice to see, as we've had people step up when we need some free throws and knock them down. And Alex, that was, this is the first game this season. She's done it plenty of times in the past, but this season where we needed a bucket and I didn't really know where to turn, and all of a sudden she comes through with a couple, not even that she was necessarily scoring, but she just made some plays for us. And so that was huge. She had a great weekend, and Haley again was somebody who, again, late in the game, we needed someone to finish at the rim, and she did that. So.
All right, and it's great to see now you're about a game and a half back in the NSIC, which is great, and then you come in and you play Minnesota Mankato this week. And I know that's always a big rivalry, both men and women. What are your thoughts on taking on the Mavericks this week?
Yeah, I mean, they're tough. It's never... I don't know. I mean, you try. I hope we get to a point where we really just thrive and enjoy playing this game. It is different. So these past few days and everything that we're doing is just specific to what they do. We break down tiny little scenarios that you will see in this game or Thursday that you don't typically see in a normal game. Like, you might get trapped here, and this is how you're going to handle that. Here's a rebound, and they're going to send 3 people at you. You need to be prepared for that. And, like, just trying to put them in every scenario that's uncomfortable so that when Thursday comes, it's like, okay, I've seen this, I've done this. But it is tough. I mean, Mankato does it every single day. They go against each other every day. I know they have a scout team, and they are who they are. It's not like something we can just replicate and send out on the floor. So there's nothing that we can completely do until we show up on game day.
And I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but then this weekend is Minnesota Duluth on the road. What do you know about them and how you match up against them?
Yeah, I mean, they're tough. They're very versatile, well-rounded. They've got just a lot of different pieces. In the past they obviously had their focal point in Brooke Olsen, but now it's very spread out, which can be just as difficult to defend. They're always good defensively, so scoring on them is going to be, even though we're working on Mankato, which is nothing to do with Duluth, we've got to kind of sprinkle in some things throughout the week so that when we show up to play Duluth, it's not like we haven't run our offense in 3 days. So.
All right, and then our usual final question, health-wise, how are you guys doing?
We're doing all right. Yeah. I'm not sure about Shimmons yet. We'll see. She's still getting there, but I think progress is being made. I'm not sure on the timeline and if we'll see her this week or not.
So maybe the holiday break is coming at a good time.
That would be nice. Yes, that's going to help her for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. Congratulations on what you did this week, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, we'll talk with Vivica Breton. That's right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors had the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Joining us today, Vivica Breton. Thanks for joining us here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you're from Rochester,
Yes.
Lourdes, so just a short trip away. Tell us a little bit about your high school career and what you remember from your basketball days at Lourdes.
Sure. I had the best high school basketball. It was like my favorite thing. Our team was luckily very good. We have been good for a long time, and we've just had really good coaches. But especially my senior year, coming together, I had two other college players on the team that went to Gonzaga and Gustavus Adolphus. So yes, we just had a really fun time together and played well. We had a couple state appearances, so yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, full disclosure, I'm a Cotter graduate, but I won't hold it against you that you knocked the Cotter girls out a couple of times on there. But tell me about the state experience for you. I mean, what was that like?
So the first one, I was a freshman going in, and we were number 1 picked to win state. And it was during COVID, and we had 2 games left, and it was over. They canceled it. So that was really tough. Being a freshman, I had 3 other years to play. But just like getting a piece of almost getting a state championship was huge. So it was very sad to be done right away, yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit then about your choice of colleges, because I hear you have relatives down south, and so you thought maybe you would go there, but you ended up coming here to Winona State. Tell me about that decision.
Well, Winona State's awesome because it's an hour away from home, and so my family can come to all the games. That was the first thing that was huge. But also coming here for my visit, it was just like a family atmosphere right away. You like here, when you go on visits, like, oh, you'll have like a feeling. I definitely had a feeling when I came that it felt like home, and that definitely was reassured. Like after the first couple of practices, I was like, I know I belong here, and it'll fit well. I'll fit well. So I'm really excited with what the team's gonna do this year, especially, and just moving forward the rest of my 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we've talked about all season long, is that just by looking at social media and some of the videos that are posted and everything, it just seems like a really fun atmosphere and something that's very welcoming to the new players that are coming on the team.
100%. 100%. Especially one thing that my family always says is like, you never see an age gap between the two. You can talk to whoever. That's exactly what it is. Like, everybody meshes well together, and I definitely see that when we play on the floor, because we know how we want to like speak to each other and who takes what and whatever. So yeah, that definitely is a huge bonus when playing on the floor together.
All right. Yeah. And then for you personally, being kind of thrown into the mix as a freshman, what is that like for you to be getting some meaningful minutes here your freshman year?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better. But definitely in these past couple of games, I've just been learning a lot, listening, trying to grasp every detail I can get. So not only this year, but the next years, you can really develop into the player that coach wants you to be and what the team needs. So yeah, I think that this first preseason and then the first start of the season have definitely been just a lot of learning pieces to gel it all together. So yeah.
All right, and tell me a little bit about this weekend, picking up 2 wins, the first sweep this season.
Yes, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because I know that the team last year, we had a little bit of a tougher season, but just to see everybody and like the confidence that it brought everybody this year, like, was such a positive for us as a whole and as a new group moving forward. I think that was just so needed more than anything else, and so it meant a lot for me because, of course, it's just wins, and I, love to win, but I could see how much it meant for the team and how it was going to carry forward. So that was really. It was awesome. Last week was awesome, yeah. All
right, well, congratulations on that, and good luck in the rest of the games, especially Mankato this week, and thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, we'll switch to men's basketball with head coach Todd Eisner. That's right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates certified public accountants and advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Siseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Siseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Time now to switch to men's basketball. Head coach Todd Eisner, congratulations. A sweep this weekend in the NSIC. Can't ask for any more than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, winning on the road's really hard, and our guys did a really nice job. It's been a place that we've, especially at Wayne, that we've really struggled to win during my time here, and our guys did a great job starting the trip off on Friday, figuring out a way to battle back in the second half and overtime to get a really good start to the weekend, and then thankfully carried it over to Saturday at Augie.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of this until I saw the wrap-up, but you hadn't won in Wayne since 2016. Is that something that you were aware of at all?
I thought it was my first or second year, and it might have been my first year. I don't remember what time of the year that we played them. So, yeah, it's been a hard place for us to win, and we've taken some good teams there and not been very successful. And like I said, our guys did a really nice job of just hanging in there. We didn't defend very well the first 25 minutes, and kind of changed the tone of the game a little bit defensively. The last 15 minutes of regulation and in overtime, and allowed us to catch back up down, I think 11 or 12 with 15 minutes to go or 13 minutes to go, and then obviously Connor Dillon got on a heater, and I'm smart enough to never recognize that and run a play for him every time down the floor. So, but it was a really good comeback win against a team I think that's going to be good in the league.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up Connor Dillon, because I was going to say I sound like a broken record, keep bringing his name up, but he seems to be doing something every week that makes us have to talk about him. And here he scored 40 points against Wayne, and as you said, most of that came in the second half. Tell us a little bit about how that got started, and as you said, you just did plays for him.
Yeah, I mean, Connor and Declan, I mean, our whole team's really competitive, but there was a lot of juices flowing in that game. I don't know if you saw the stats. There were 4 technical fouls called in the game, and 1 flagrant foul, and I think our guys got pretty fired up just about the circumstances overall and the way the game was being played, and and like anyone else, once you make 1 or 2, the basket gets pretty big, and so. I think I've mentioned it before. If Connor can make shots from the arc, it opens up the rest of his game. And obviously he got going to make 9 threes in a game. But he had a big and 1 to start the overtime. They had come down off the tip and hit a 3 to go up 3 to start overtime, and he came down and got an and 1 to tie it. And so he really had all parts of his game working on the offensive end. And obviously we needed every one of them. Yeah,
9 3-pointers is just one off the school record of 10. So that was kind of interesting to see. And then, of course, the 40 points is fairly close to the school record. I think 51 or 53 is the school record for single points. But one of the other things, too, that kind of jumped out is the free throws. You shot 30, Wayne shot 24. Obviously, the technical fouls were a part of that. But 22 of 30 from the free throw line, that's a good number.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we got to the line a lot. It was a very chippy game. It was a very physical game. I thought our guys overall handled it really well. And then anytime you can get to the line, you got to make people pay. That's why they call them free. So to go 22 of 30 puts you in a pretty good position at 74%, and took advantage of it.
Let's bring up a name we haven't talked a whole lot about, and that toward the end of the game, going towards overtime, Tyler Borowski had a couple of really good, had a 3-point shot, and then I think hit some free throws late. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, a little different role for Tyler. We moved off the ball a little bit, and we've given Jordy Wilkins some time at the point, and Jordy's done a nice job. He made 3 threes against Wayne on Friday night, and really helped us offensively, and Tyler did a nice job. I mean, he's smart enough where he doesn't need a lot of reps at other positions and still understands what we're doing, and really gave us some good momentum. We were in foul trouble a bunch with, Connor Dillon was in foul trouble the first half, and then Declan was in foul trouble, Connor Drew was in foul trouble, so we were mixing and matching a little bit, but he did a nice job hitting a big 3 and then knocking down some late free throws.
All right, and then let's move on then to Augustana, because as you said, another tough place for you guys to play, and you come away with a win in that game as well.
Yeah, a little different game. Obviously teams are going to start to scout us a little differently and know who's obviously been key offensive players for us, and that starts with Connor Dillon. And so we got to the game on Saturday, and they basically face guarded Connor and what we call top blocking. So any type of movement they wanted going away from the ball, not to the ball, and made his day a lot more challenging, which made us offensively a lot more challenging to try to score. And I thought Connor really handled it well. I think he ended up 9 for 17 from the floor. He didn't get greedy. He didn't get anxious in terms of trying to hunt his shots. Still shot over 50%. Still had 22 points. So he did a nice job. And then obviously Carson was really big for us in the second half and got it going from the arc a little bit and had a couple of post-ups, jump hooks that was important to us. And so it was a really, really good win. We didn't score it very well in the second half. I thought we were really good offensively the first half, but defensively we were tremendous the whole game.
All right, you brought up Carson Arns. We got to talk about him because he's the guest today. I think that's the second or third time this season that he's got a career high in points. Tell us about the game that he had against Augustana.
Yeah, he plays within himself, and he knows what he's capable of doing. He's very smart. He was taught very well. I haven't had a whole lot to do with how he plays. He was taught very well at Onalaska High School and really understands the game. He helps us in so many ways that maybe the people that are in the stands aren't paying attention to. He's a great mover of the basketball. He's a great mover of his body in terms of being a screener. He's a very active screener for us. Like I said, he plays within himself. He's not going to try to do more than he's capable of doing, but he's very skilled. He's very smart. He knows how to play. He's been shooting the ball at a really high clip, both from the three-point line and at the free throw line. And he's been a really valuable piece to what we're doing, and then we needed every bit of it on Saturday night to come away with a tough win.
All right, and let me bring up one other name. Brock Voigt seems to be another piece that was important to get back after he came back from injury, and he had a couple of good games this weekend as well.
Yeah, he gave us a big presence on Saturday at Augie. I think he was 4 of 4, from the floor in the first half. He's got a nose for the ball near the rim. He finishes well. We haven't gotten him in a position where he's able to show his athleticism. He's really long and bouncy, and it'd be nice to be able to free him up one time. I think the fans would really enjoy and maybe be a little surprised at how athletic he is. But he has a strong presence near the rim and has given us a really good boost off the bench.
All right, let's talk about the games that are happening this week. Thursday, it's Minnesota State coming into McCowan Gymnasium, and that's always a big battle. It has been historically for Winona State. But even more this year, maybe 10-0, 4-0 in the NSIC. How do you match up against Minnesota State?
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. I think it's the best team that Matt's had since I've been here. They've got so many pieces offensively. They're averaging 94 points a game, shooting 53% from the floor, 42% from the three, making 10 threes a game. The ones they miss, they go rebound. And they do it at all 5 positions, and they bring some guys off the bench. I think they've got 7 guys that, by my count, that can get 20 points on any given night. So you sit there and say, okay, we're in a game plan to take away the Willingham brothers. Well, then you've got Brady Williams, and you've got Hayes Camp, the transfer from Truman State, and you've got Justin Egan's, the transfer from Wayne State. I mean, it's just one guy after another. So, we're going to have to defend at a really high level. We're going to have to control the tempo. We're going to have to make sure transition D is important. We're going to have to rebound the ball at a high level, which we haven't done great. We didn't rebound the ball very well either game this past weekend. But I know we're going to fight, and we're going to really try to guard. And we're going to try to make them uncomfortable. And we scrimmaged them earlier this year, actually, and so our guys at least are familiar with who they are. It's going to take a great effort on our part, but we're playing good basketball also, and should be a fun game.
All right, about 30 seconds left in the segment. Health-wise, how are you doing going?
We're getting a little healthier. Alumide practiced a little bit today. I still think, again, at the end of the day, he thinks he can play today. We got to get him, used to what we're doing, but I think he's getting closer as long as there's no setbacks. Gavin Hurley got some good news. He does not have to have surgery, so we're hopeful to get him back maybe after the holidays. And a couple other guys are still a little iffy, but if we could get those 2 back for the last half of the year, it'd be great.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, and good luck against Minnesota State.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. We're going to take a break here on the Warrior Report. When we come back, Carson Arns will join us right after this.
For over 60 years, Russell & Associates has been helping individual and business clients achieve what matters to them. Our trusted advisors have the expertise and experience to help with long-term plans for personal finance, business finance, or wealth management. Focus on what matters most. Call Russell & Associates Certified Public Accountants and Advisors today at 507-452-3100 or visit us online at russellcpafirm.com.
Meet Jenny Siseski of Edina Realty. With nearly 30 years' experience, she knows that right now is the best time to sell your home. Jenny will help you get top dollar, higher than ever before. With today's low interest rates, it's time to upgrade your home and increase its value. High demand and low inventory also make this a perfect time to list your home. Call for a free market analysis. Contact Jenny Siseski at Edina Realty today, 507-458-7038.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We are brought to you by Russell & Associates, coming to you from the 111 Riverfront Building, the Latch Development Center in downtown Winona. Carson Arns joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So obviously you had to sit there and listen to us talk about you a little bit, especially what Coach Eisner had to say. Your reaction to what Coach Eisner had to say about you?
I mean, it means a lot. I agree with what he says. I'm not the most athletic player, but I play with my head and I play hard, so that's the two most important things.
All right, this season you've really come into your own. As I said, maybe 2 or 3 times you've broken your career high for points on the year, including 15 against Augustana. How do you feel you played against Augustana?
Good. I mean, I made some hustle plays. That's where it all starts, I believe. And then I was just hitting open shots, and my teammates were finding me when I was open. I don't think much of it was too much of me creating it, but my teammates just finding me.
Okay, and I'll kind of ask you the same thing that I saw on social media that your old high school on Alaska talked about. I think they had you on as an alumni spotlight, but what do you feel your role is on this team this year?
Yeah, basically what I just said, hit open shots, open up players for my team if that's setting good screens, making good cuts, making hustle plays, getting on the ball if it's loose, all those type of things.
Okay. You talked about hustle, and against Sioux Falls, you had your first collegiate double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds. Kind of walk us through that game. Tell us how you did that against Sioux Falls.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even realize I was at that point. I knew I had a decent amount of rebounds, but I was just boxing up my guy, trying not to let him get an offensive rebound, and the ball was just finding me off the rim. I was just in the right spot, so.
Okay. Do you feel that you're playing your best basketball of your career right now?
Yeah, for sure. 3 years under my belt, so I have all the experience. I know Coach believes in me. He wants me taking all the shots that are open and know that I think I can make, and yeah, I just have good confidence.
Okay. Overall, this weekend against Wayne and Augustana, I mean, we already talked about your performance against Augustana, but overall as a team, how do you feel that you guys played this weekend?
We played great, I thought. I mean, first half of Wayne was kind of iffy. I believe we were down by 8 or something at half. I wasn't playing too well in that game, and then our bench really stepped it up. Ty Borowski stepped it up, made some huge hustle plays. Brock played good, hit some free throws, and it was just, we kept saying a 10-man army over this past weekend. We only brought 10, but everyone played really well, and then we just kept it steady against Augie the next day.
All right, so obviously you've had games where you've been shooting hot this year. You see what Connor Dillon has been doing, and Coach says, well, I would just draw some plays up for him to get some more points in the second half. When you see a teammate doing well like that, do you kind of feel like, well, I got to get him the ball so that he can continue this hot streak?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's the center of our offense, I think. I understand that I'm not going to create as much as he will, so one of my main goals is just trying to get him open and him open shots, and if someone takes him away, then I'll be open possibly. So, yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about what's coming up this week then. It's Minnesota State. Obviously, you've been here a while, and being in Alaska, you probably understand Winona State versus Minnesota State. How do you feel heading into this game?
Good. I mean, we've been playing really well as of lately. They're obviously big. They're rolling pretty well too. We just gotta slow down, play at our own pace, and box out and rebound, and I think we should be good.
All right. Is there anything that you're doing in practice or the team is doing in practice to kind of prepare for Minnesota State?
Scout team they're focusing on crashing the glass a lot more just because they're averaging over 11 rebounds per game, offensive rebounds per game. So we're just trying to just make sure we find a guy, box out, and get the board and get the ball under control.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us here this week, and good luck against Minnesota State.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for joining us here on the Warrior Report. We'll see you next week here on HBC TV 25.